We're out here, branch number 3, down here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This partner has a really cool story. From 6 years in the military to run a 7-figure pest control company without having an office. Let's go check it out.
I appreciate you having me, Jonas. Yeah. I'm honored to be here, man. It's crazy how much we've come along since 2020, 21. We're up to 17 branches now, and we were just at one the other day.
Pretty wild, eh?
It's crazy. It's been a journey, man.
What was your experience like with the Marines?
Well, you know, obviously, like, leaving, it's never easy for anyone just to leave, but like, I had a split family growing up, so I was kind of used to the movement. Joining, you know, it taught me a lot about hard work and discipline and adapting and overcoming situations. You know, if something happens, don't panic about it. Like, there's always a way to get around it.
Yeah. So then you're 6 years in, and then you have a choice. Like, okay, in 14 more years, you could have been retired. Like, that must have been a tough decision too. But what made you leave?
I was active my first couple of years, but I was mainly reserves the last 4. It was really difficult having to go every single month from the UP down to Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
And that's the big reason why I got out, was the travel time. And then we'd be gone for a couple of weeks, and it just interfered with a lot of family and, you know, stuff going on, especially when you're getting more involved with life. So I left there. I did construction for a little bit. So I was plowing in the UP 3, 4 in the morning, going to measure to make sure if there's 2 inches of snow, you're out there plowing. And then I was like, I'm not going to do this my whole life. There's no way. And then I found this thing on Indeed. It was called RJ Distributing. Didn't know what it was. And I applied for that on Indeed, and I showed up, and all of a sudden this guy, his name is Ryan, he pulled off this, you know, vacuum, and he's doing this presentation, and I'm like, you're going to be going to door to door to sell that. But yeah, that's how I got into sales, was doing door to door for Kirby. Yeah, we knocked our first door. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Brand new to the sales, that have zero experience. I ended up knocking it. And at first he opens the doors and he says, "Fuck off." So that was my first experience on the door. Fuck off. So I was like, oh, wow, this is not what I expected at all. And this was February of 2020. So this is like a month before the actual shutdown. Did that pretty much all the way up until I ran into you.
Yeah, I get this call from my old office manager. Yeah. She's like, hey, there's this guy who's in the Marines. He says that he wants to come in for an interview. I'm like, okay, sure. Let's test it out. Dylan shows up, shirt and tie.
Well, I was all dressed up.
First of all, you didn't know what pest control was.
No.
And second of all, I
didn't have a clue.
You're like, you gonna sell pest control on the, like, door to door?
Door to door. Yeah. I was like, this is something different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was April of 2021 was my first store. I want to say it was like April 14th. It's weird. I remember that date.
Yeah.
Went out by myself, and I walked to my first door. I could feel my heart beating out of my chest. Like, dude, it was like an experience I haven't had since that first door I knocked with you guys. And I felt like my throat was closing up. I was like, oh man, here we go. This is hard. And I could barely get the pitch out, and I messed up my first door. Second door I knocked, it was a sweet old lady. I was like, oh man, these are my people here. You know, I've always been like a grandma's boy, know how to talk to older people. And I ended up selling her. And then I finished with 6 that day.
And then from that day forward, you've never bageled before, ever. Cool. So you're at your first day, you drop 6, walk us through the rest of the summer, and then we'll go into year 2. Hold up, quick pause. If you're on a pest control company or fertilization weed control company, you're not in our Facebook group, you're choosing the harder path. Every operator that's in there is skipping years of mistakes because people are actually sharing what's working right now. So stop trying to brute force your way through growth alone. Search Pest Control Millionaires on Facebook or click the link below. And now let's get back to it.
And we went down to Green Bay, Appleton. That's when we first officially opened up down there. Had a great experience with us. That was honestly, I look back, I was probably James can agree, like that was probably our favorite summer together, was 2021. The thing is, we were still learning too. Like we didn't have the training like all these other big companies had. Yeah. Like we were brand new, just getting our feet wet. And we took over down there. It was crazy.
We started planning for the future, what a little bit more of what it would look like for you. You know what I mean?
Year two was crazy. It was dream team versus A team. We really pushed each other. I had a blast. It was fun. We each probably had 10 dudes on each team. That's when I had to step up.
Yeah.
That's when I became the leader. I was already a leader, but like that's when I really had to step up with James. Like I wasn't used to running morning meetings. Like
And again, I did it the whole first year, and then it's like, okay, now I need to get these guys to start stepping up a little bit. And I gave you guys a little bit more autonomy, a little bit of freedom to go start building your own teams and your own success. So I'd show up once or twice a week rather than running every single day.
me and James didn't sell as much like we did year one.
Yeah,
because
right.
we were more focused on helping our guys and our
Yeah.
team out
Mhm.
than actually being able to perform. That's the one thing is when you do move up, become a team leader, manager, like your numbers are going to go a little bit down because you're trying to help your guys, you're teaching them, you're recruiting, you're going out knocking doors with them, helping them close a deal.
You can't go out there and close the deal yourself. You're going to struggle to keep someone.
You got to lead from the front.
Yeah,
you have to be out there. Like I'm still out there knocking. As today, like, do I technically need to? No.
Right.
Would I want to? I love doing it.
Okay, so let's fast forward end of year 2. What happened?
There's a lot of stuff that we're obviously going to leave out of this podcast. But so I found out my mom got her cancer came back. That was in, I want to say August, I found out of 2022. Okay. So I was very emotional. I remember having that morning meeting, like how emotional I was that morning. So I finished like my month up there in Green Bay, Appleton, finished out the year. We ended up partnering up as our first actual business partner. So
Yeah,
me and Jonas,
and that's how it was like, almost like it was like, wasn't forced upon us, but
No.
I still remember that conversation. Like, Dylan, whatever you do, we're going to figure this out. Go spend as much time with her as you possibly can.
I moved down there of October 2022. I was coming back and forth back home to the UP. My family's up there. But I was living with my mom from December of 22 until she passed in May of 2023. That was a very emotional time. And then obviously trying to open up a business during that time too. It wasn't easy. Like I remember I had 10 recruits showing up the next day. My mom died May 7th of 23. I had 10 recruits showing up May 8th of 23. Yeah, it was a very stressful time. But honestly, I'm glad I was able to spend the last 5-6 months of my mom's life and being able to help her out, like being her caretaker, helping.
But yeah, so that was how we got down to Grand Rapids. But it's kind of always the goal to get you there.
Yeah, we were planning on opening up anyways. It just kind of happened sooner than quicker because I didn't expect my mom to get cancer and have it come back. And then like 6 months later, I didn't expect her to be gone. Like that all happened so fast. May of 23 is like my first actual month. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Like it takes a lot of work and mental toughness to get through all that. Like losing your mom, running the business, going back home 6-7 hours away on the weekends to go see the girls. Like it wasn't easy. And trying to be there for all your recruits too, because.
And this is what most normal people don't see. All they see is you after 3 to 5 years and you run a successful company. They're like, oh yeah, it must be nice. Like they have no idea of how much work and dedication and heart and grit that it takes. Like you said, the mental toughness of driving 7 hours back and forth to visit your girls on the weekends because they can't be down there because you're working. But it's the ones that show up every single day. They're consistent. They work through their shit. They show up. They do their job. They execute. Are the ones that win. And you're a prime example of that person.
And I say after our first year, I don't remember what the exact number was. But I want to say we finished around like 600,000 to 700,000 our first year. Obviously, it wasn't like our greatest year, but obviously I was mentally dealing with a lot of struggles.
But you're also learning a lot. I remember coming down there.
Learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, different market too. So Grand Rapids was the hardest market that we had been in yet.
Yeah,
so it was a lot more. We had Greeneck, EcoShield just opened up here. They had teams of freaking 60, 70 guys. Greeneck 60, 70 guys. Aptive 60, 70 guys.
Proof had a team of 20.
Yeah. So like it was a whole new ball game for us in our first year in an actual real saturated market.
For the listeners, what are your goals for the next, I know what they are, but the next 3 to 5 years, what are you thinking?
We just opened up Detroit.
Mhm.
this past year, so that's huge. Same, we're in the process of two other locations. So my goal, so technically I'm at like four locations right now. My goal in 3 years is to have at least another two more, say 3 years. So by 3 year I'll be at six, and then five, probably another two after that. Just go two every
Yeah.
couple of years, just
Cool.
because we want to grow those
Grow with the
locations
leadership
before we
team.
get.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, because we've obviously learned if we grow too quickly without leadership, we start losing that leadership in certain locations too.
Did you ever think that you'd be where you're at today?
Hell no. Like I grew up as a poor kid. I didn't have money, so like the fact that I'm able to like provide for my family without asking anyone for money, and like getting my daughter enrolled in like travel soccer, because we didn't have the money to do that as a kid, and that stuff isn't cheap. I'm happy that I'm able to do that for my own kids, because I didn't have that opportunity growing up, and if it weren't
Right.
for you and Pest Badger and stuff, like I would have never had that opportunity, and I truly appreciate everything you've done, Jonas, because I wouldn't be here without you.
I appreciate it too. You're a stud. Glad to call you my friend, business partner, like, so on and so forth. It's been a fun 5 years, and the future looks bright. Sure.